next speaker. So thank you, Haman. It's Drew Halpin. It's okay. So he's the fellow, the chief architect of cloud network from Huawei.
Okay, thank you for inviting me to do the presentation. So it's my honor to share some experiences, some outlook for the telco cloud evolutions. So actually, I have worked in Huawei around 23 years, and I think I'm an old soldier for the telco cloud and also the core network. So I think I have some experiences maybe we can share with you, especially for the evolution of the telco cloud. So basically, this slide just think about the three things. One thing is very simple, is to talk about the trend. The second one is some challenges and some requirements, also based on experience and our practice, and some suggestions for the ETS NFV. As Yushan mentioned, I think the NFV has made a big success because nowadays most of the Huawei, the 5G core network or even the 4G, most are based around nowadays are running on ETS NFV standards. I think this is actually from our to my knowledge, I think this is a big success. So next slide. Actually, I think for the talk about the trends, I think the first one thing is we are talk about a lot about the NFV to cloud native, and with especially with the telco attributes maintained. So I think for 5G, we are moving from the 2C services to the 2B and 2H and to new services, and means more and more services will be provided, and we need more capabilities from the telco cloud, from the infrastructure. And for the right side, this is our thinking about the main trend for the telco cloud evolution. The first one is the carrier grade. We think always the carrier grade should be the first important thing. We need to always provide the 6 line reliabilities, especially I think some customers, some experts have mentioned about the regulation. The reliability is a must for the regulation, and I think maybe the highest priorities, also the performance needed the optimization. And second one is the convergent. I think we are thinking about maybe after when you want to introduce the bare metal, so you just want to rebuild it or just upgrade the existing infrastructure. So maybe we can give some suggestions. The third one is the interops. I think we do have some different ideas about the gate ops and interops. We think maybe the intent-based ops operation is the final target we should pursue. And I think the gate ops may still some challenges. Later I will give some details. The last one I think very important is AI, because AI is a very hot topic. Nowadays we are thinking about maybe we can introduce the AI technologies to help to provide the cloud for AI. That means we just let our telco cloud to provide some native support for the AI capabilities. And the next one is AI for cloud. That means we just introduce AI solutions, AI capabilities to make a better telco cloud. This is the main 4 trend. But anyway, I just will introduce the main 3 one. The first carrier grade and the interops, and also the AI related solutions. For the convergent, I will in my second section I will introduce more. Next slide. So this is trend 1. We are talking about the carrier grade. So we are thinking about the 5G 2C service and the 5G 2B services. So you can think about the lot of characteristics, the huge amount of users for 2C service, and also the diversified service, especially and for some vertical industries. Based on our experiences, we think we need maybe much higher reliabilities, maybe higher than 6 line. And so based on the requirement characteristics from the 2C service and 2B service, we think we will summarize some core requirements. This is we have list 4. Almost I think it is in one word is carrier grade. Carrier grade reliability, carrier grade resource efficiency, carrier grade OM efficiency, and also carrier grade service efficiency. And that means based on all these requirements, we need some solutions to provide these capabilities, like I just listed here. So you can go through one by one. And for example, we need some low single point of finger isolation, and some offloading, and the batch upgrade, and also microservice and DevOps. This is all fixed to match the requirement from our 5G 2C, 5G 2B services. Next page. And the next one is about the interops. I think there are actually there are two very hot topics. One is the GitOps, another is IntoOps. Our idea is maybe there are some challenges for GitOps because GitOps actually is from the IT world. From my experience, to my knowledge, I think the IT automation and the safety automation, they are very different. For example, for IT automation, they always think about to get the best, to shorten the TTM, maybe the main target. But for the city automations, and I think we need some trade-off. We really need some very good TTM, but at the same time, we think about we need very high stabilities. So that means we need some balance. So for the IT automations, so for example, we need some very fast changes. For example, even daily changes. But for our city automations, maybe for 1 year, maybe we need several times to do upgradations. So this is something we need to think about. So actually, we think about the GitOps mainly have the 4 challenges in city solutions or city scenarios. The first one is GitOps is always using the microservice as LCM, lifecycle management objects, and maybe lacks of the network function and network concepts. I think this is very challenging for the GitOps because GitOps is actually from the IT world. So many IT solutions using the DevOps solutions. So that means the OM SRE can know everything about the applications, every microservices. But I think this is still some challenges for our city world because city world we always get the solutions, get the applications, get the network function from some vendor, and we do the vendor and together with the operator to do the maintenance. So that is difference compared with the IT automation. The second one is GitOps maybe cannot simplify the configurations. It's hard to do to correct the configurations. So that means there is no formal procedure to check the validation, to do the validation of the configurations. And third one is also maybe the GitOps is mainly focused on the CD, the continuous deployment. But I think maybe there's some lacking about the CT procedure. CT means the continuous test, especially to test the function of the network elements and also the network functions. So I think there's still some challenges. I don't say it's infallible, but I think there are some challenges based on our experience. The last one is maybe the GitOps always need a very high-skilled human operators, even beyond the normal SRE. So that means for city world, actually the carrier just get the VNF from some vendors and get some telco cloud from a lot of vendors, and then together to make the GitOps, I think it's still very challenging for them to provide some very smooth OM maintenance. So this is our thinking about the GitOps. I think maybe the IntoOps, intent-based operation, is a better choice. The next trend is the AI. I think AI is very hot. Actually, for Huawei, we are thinking about from the content perspective, we are moving the plain voice, plain text towards the multi-module intelligent communication for the left side, and also the communication between the humans to human to human to human to machines, and also some large scale and dynamic network. For example, to improve the efficiency, we can introduce the AI technology. So we summarize in 2 words. One word is cloud for AI. That means we let the telco cloud can be upgraded to support the AI workload. For example, to support the diversified hardware, to support the AI business, and also to maybe I think even for example the China Mobile think about to introduce the computing force and together with the network capabilities. Maybe just as this expert mentioned about how to collect the computing resources among different sites. Maybe this is some new chances, new opportunities for our carriers. And the AI for cloud means we can introduce AI technology to help to get a better efficiency for the maintenance. Even maybe we can also optimize the efficiency of the telco cloud. So this is the main 3 trends from our perspective. Okay, next slide. So based on this main 3 trends, the carrier grid, IntoOps, and also the AI technology, we are thinking about what is the main challenges for this trend, and what is the main challenges, what is the main requirements for all these trends. So next we give our some source. For example, the first one is, well, I just mentioned the four trends before. The first, I think one thing I not mentioned is convergent, so I mentioned them here. So actually, the convergent, I think, is we have some questions just list previously. So if you want to introduce a bare metal, what is your idea? You just want to construct some new site to provide the bare metal, or just upgrade the existing telco cloud to support the bare metal. So this is some thinking about from our side. Actually, we think about maybe the 3 years. The first one is the virtual machine era, and eventually move to the container era, and finally, and maybe there is the container age. Maybe there is we can dismiss the IS layer. That just let the provide something like the bare metal container support for the container for the CNF. So this is I think the eventual evolutions. Okay, next slide. So I think we can compare the two solutions. Actually, the first one is we just rebuild some site to support the bare metal. Another choice is we can provide some convergent solutions. That means we're using some single pane of glass to support the bare metal container, the virtual machine container. So all kinds of workload can be run on top of the same single pane of glass. Actually, based on our experience, we think about the efficiency. If you choose the convergent solutions, that means we can get the benefits from the expansion instead of reconstruction, and also the heterogeneous resource pools. Actually, we think why we list this example here. So as I talked a lot with my colleagues, I think maybe ETSI can think about after you define the standard, after you define the protocol interfaces, maybe you can think about to define some best reference design. I think maybe, for example, if the customer, if the carrier wants to introduce a bare metal, what is the best choice for them? It's just rebuild a new site or just upgrade an existing site. Maybe we can think about the benefits to let our customer, let the carriers to choose some better solutions. So this is our suggestions. Maybe in future, yes, NFV can think about after you have the standard, you can think about to provide some reference design, architecture design for the carriers. Okay, next slide. And the next challenges and also requirement about the SRA, and I mentioned before, we always think about the carrier grade. We are the carriers. We need to provide some different things compared with the private cloud. Because you know, Huawei for us, we provide the public cloud. We also provide the telco cloud. So we think the telco cloud is very unique because they have the carrier characteristics. So here I just list some of the main characteristics. So first one is we always need the extremely improved performance. For example, for CNF layer, for example, the cloud platform, and for example, the hardware layer, we always think about how to do the best offloading. And for example, we are thinking about the container enhancement. We need some technologies like the port isolation, a huge page, and for the infrastructure offload, we can introduce the smart NIC, we can introduce the DPU, a lot of technologies just to do the infrastructure resource offloading. So this is why we always think about the improved performance. The second one is the higher OM efficiency. I think there is some lacking for the existing ETSI standard. To my knowledge, I think nowadays we do not have the PIM module. Maybe we can think about our manual is mainly focused on the lifecycle management. So from my point of view, I think maybe we can introduce the PIM, we can introduce the Vim and the CSM to management the hardware, the virtual machine, and also the container, and let our manual to have more capabilities just to collect the fault information and alarm information and also performance information from the hardware layer, from the virtual machine layer, from the container layer, and based on all these things can do some data analyze. And based on the analyze result, we can do some closed loop control loop. So we can let our carriers, our customers to get better, the cloud management capabilities beyond the nowadays. Maybe we just mainly focus on the lifecycle management. So for right side is about the service availability. I think the service availability is very important for carrier business. So we are thinking about maybe we need to in future we can think about let manual to provide some cross-site backup management, and also like the middle think about to provide some cross-layer service reliabilities, something like this. That means this is our thinking about the SA, the carrier SA, about the telco cloud evolution. Next page. So this is about the interops. Interops, we are thinking about maybe it's better for compare with GitOps. I think there is no final conclusion. This is from our side, our suggestions. So I think the compare with the GitOps, because GitOps, if you're using GitOps, you need to know everything, every details. I think this is not good for every carriers. Maybe some carrier can hire a lot of SRE. It's okay, but I think most of the carriers still want to save the money. So from my point of view, I think the GitOps will give you some unique benefits. The first one is reliability, because in intent simulation, we can do intent simulation and verifications and do some very simplified carrier upgrade. For example, just you mentioned about the SO 006 or the loss bound interface. Maybe for this interface, loss bound interface, we are thinking about maybe we can define some intent-based interfaces just to simplify the upgrading and the onboarding. And the second one is simplifications, because for intent-based operations, we can always simplify the network design from the day one or day two, day one, day zero design, day one onboarding, and day two maintenance. I think if you introduce the intent-based optimize the maintenance, maybe we can get the benefit from the simplifications from day 0, day 1, day 2, and the flexibility means we can get the benefit from the enhanced observability and the test capabilities to avoid the manual check, because for GitOps we need to, it's very hard because there are so many configurations that will be stored in the Git repository. So it's very hard to check every configuration because there are so many configurations, so many MML. So it's very hard. So I think the intent-based configurations will drastically, simplify the capacities. So for the left side is some our suggestions for the intent-based interops architecture. So actually for the infrastructure, we just suggest introduce the PIM. I think the ETSI has think about to introduce the PIM to manage the hardware. And on top of the infrastructure, we have the some manual evolutions. For manual evolutions, for the loss bound, we have the intent interface to let the upper OSS system to send the intent, a very high level intent to do the onboarding, to do a maintenance. So for the manual evolutions, actually we can introduce the CD/CT modules, and also to let the NFV and the WinFM to get the intent understanding and the intent the commitment and the intent validation, some function like this. So this is our thinking for the future manual evolutions. Maybe we can think about to introduce the intent-based OM architecture. So next page. So the last one is about the AI. I think I have mentioned before. AI is very hot. So what we can do for AI, because I think the chat GPT-4 is very, very hot. So I think because for our carriers, so I think we are thinking about the AI for LET and LET for AI. But I think for telco cloud, maybe we can think about the cloud for AI and AI for cloud. So for cloud for AI, I think previously we have using the OpenStack or some other different virtualization technologies just to provide the virtualization of the computing, the virtualization of the storage, or the virtualization of the network. But I think we are lacking of the the AI virtualizations, because for nowadays the AI hardware is mainly the GPU or the NPU. But I think nowadays there is no definitions for the virtualization for these things. I think maybe in future in ETSI we are thinking about how to define some unified interfaces about the GPU and NPU virtualizations. I think this is some the requirement will become more and more strong in the future. For the right side is the AI for cloud. I think nowadays the NFV or manual system that are lacking. There is no AI analytic modules. So we just thought maybe we can introduce some new modules. I just limit the cloud DAF. Cloud DAF means the cloud data analytic function. And we have the MDAF in 3GPP. Maybe we can define some unique name. The cloud DAF, which is AI enabled. the module to provide the AI engine and the simulation engines for our new manual, the manual solutions. So this is our thinking about the AI challenges and also the requirement. Oh, okay, next. So finally, we can, because the time is very limited, so we go to the last topic, last page. Next, the last page is some summary for my presentations. Actually, we are thinking about we have the three phases. The first one is in short term. I think we need to optimize to define some environmental container. We need to provide the all the definitions, all the standardizations for cloud native. For mid-term, I think we need to focus on the hyper automations. Hyper automation, that means we can converge like the CTCD, like the intent-based architecture, and like the the cloud DAF. All these new things. And I think maybe in future we can think about to provide some AI native solutions. So for the cloud native, and I mentioned that maybe nowadays we are thinking about to focus on the bare metal container. But as you know, the bare metal container is still not very standardized. There are still some lackings in standards, so maybe we can work together to speed up the definitions. And also we can think about, just as I mentioned before, how to introduce the environmental solutions. We build some new site, or upgrade the existing site. So for the other things, for the hyper automation and for the AI, I think this will be matched some new networks like the 5G advanced or some 6G. Maybe we can think about the manual evolution, manual new architecture, and the heterogeneous hardware management. This is related to the PIM, and also the intent management, collaboration with 3GPP, and also some offload components like the DeepShoe, Smart NIC, and also some AI for AI-based operation and AI resource virtualizations. So I think this is some idea from our side. Maybe it's just for your input when you consider the whole NFV evolutions. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, short question.
Okay. So in your presentation, so thank you for the presentation. You made a very interesting. You made a very interesting comment. Of course, AI is hot, and you mentioned this, whether we can use large NLMs or ChatGPT for if you leverage that. When you said that, what type of, let's say, scenarios or use cases you have in your mind where you think we can leverage this large language models, ChatGPT, for our purposes for the telco cloud?
Okay, this is a very good question, because you know in Huawei I'm in charge of the telco cloud, and at the same time I'm also in charge of the core network part. I think the ChatGPT or GPT-4 is very important for us, especially nowadays, for example, for AI for net. That means we can let the AI to help us to do some alarm, problem localizations, and to help the maintainer, the OEM, to shorten their program localization time. That means, this is, we call it the co-pilot for the network. So I think for the co-pilot can be useful for network, and also can be useful for telco cloud, even for the manual or everything. So because you know the GPT-4 is very, very, very strong. I tested a lot for GPT-4. I think it will be very useful for our for AI for net and AI for cloud. This is mainly reusing the capabilities potential from the LLM. And I think maybe for the net for AI or cloud for AI, these are larger stories. Maybe that means our network can provide some native AI capabilities for some vertical industries or for some applications. This is a larger stories, because you know nowadays we are defining the NGRTC in 3GPP. That means when I call video call together with you, we can add the avatar. Based on the video information. So that means we call it the network for AI, and we just provide some native capabilities to support some very innovative services, some very innovative experiences. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question about, you mentioned the AI resource organization. So the future in your mind is who will orchestrate this kind of resource? What kind of object will manage this kind of resource?
Okay, actually this is a very good question. Actually, because I think the NFV is based on the virtualization. Previously, we virtualize the storage, we virtualize the computing, we virtualize the network, but there is no AI hardware. So nowadays, for NVIDIA or even for some AMD, for all these vendors, they only provide the proprietary virtualization solutions. I think this is some challenges for the whole industry. So from my point of view, I think it's the best place in ETSI to think about to define the virtualization for all this AI hardware. And after we define the virtualization standard about the AI hardware, so we can think about maybe nowadays the NSD, the NFD, all the template need to be changed or evolved to match some requirement. If this CNF, WinF, or all these lateral functions need the AI capabilities, need the virtualized AI capabilities, maybe we can, after our definition for all these AI virtualization, we can enhance the WinFD, we can enhance all the all the documents, all the telement. Yeah.
So in your mind, so maybe in the future, the manual still can manage the AI.
I think so. I do think so. I think manual should be for the source bound and the loss bound. All these different layers should be evolved to match the requirement for the AI era. Because for the AI era, there I think maybe 2030, I think even the 80% computing force, where computing resource were based on AI hardware. Not unlike nowadays, I think for NFV, I think 100% are based on the CPU, resources, CPU hardware. But I think maybe after 5 years or 8 years, maybe we'll evolve to some new era. And at that time, maybe 80% computing resources are AI based. This is a totally different era. So I think maybe it's the best place in ETSI to think about how to virtualize the AI hardware.
So that means our NFV still can use because it's still virtualized.
Yeah. This is my because for most of the carriers, these carriers want to buy this hardware from NVIDIA, from AMD, from different vendors. So how to combine everything together? It's a disaster if there is no standard. How to do the interworking portability? I think this must be the disaster. So I think the carrier cannot provide the AI capabilities for the vertical industry. We cannot provide the vertical AI solutions for the consumer, for the industry. I think everybody wants to provide the solution based on our installations. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay.